Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog, the last Captain's Video Weblog before the end of the world. I'm in 2016. To be fair though, I wanted to say that at the time where I'm filming this, nobody is yet in 2016, but it kind of fell flat because I checked on timeanddate.com. Pretty cool. So all the Samoa and the Christmas Island and the Kiribati archipelago are already in 2016. They've been for for nearly an hour, including and also the Chatham Islands that are part of New Zealand. So yeah, we're 10 minutes away from New Zealand entering 2016, and then it's a small region of Russia. I would think that it's there's also islands in the Pacific. So yeah, of course, islands in the Pacific. Nobody really knows them, but they're so far ahead of us that some of them are already in 2016. Some of them aren't even on the 31st of December. You know why? Because of time zones. There are some time zones that are really strange. Like you can go to plus 13, I think, which is why there are already islands that are in 2016. Because normally since the GMT is at the middle, you would have 12 before and 12 after. But because some countries, some islands aren't really okay with that, and there's also other stuff that's going in the way, well, there are already places in the world where it's 2016. Oh wait, it's not even plus 13, it's plus 14 because 11 a.m. here is 10 a.m. In England, where it's GMT 0. So yeah, it's like you could spend. There was a question recently on the Rooster Teeth podcast. I mean, recently, I listened to it recently, but it might have been like a month ago, for all I know. So yeah, there are places where if you were to stand in the middle of the ocean, just on the international date line. You start off the day on the to the east of the line. Like maybe for I don't know, maybe a couple of inches away. You're in your buoy and you're floating, and you're there, and the day has begun. And your day goes well, you spend the whole of 23 hours, 59 minutes, at the very last moment you cross the line, it would be just 10 a.m. or something like that. It's really strange to think that it works like that. No, it wouldn't be 10 a.m. now that I think about it. The day would have just begun. Would the day have just begun? Yeah. I mean, technically, because the Earth has 24 time zones, even more than 24 time zones, you could spend almost 2 days in the same day, the equivalent of 2 days, and even more than that. Because, well, when one day ends on the other parts of the world, it has just begun. I mean, if you look at it, Baker Island and the Howland Island, that are two of really minor outlying islands of the US, they won't be on 2016 until tomorrow at 1 p.m. Which means that you could spend you know, uh, lots of time in the same day, really. But that is not what I was going to talk about. Uh, oh, I didn't know that. I thought that French Polynesia was Polynesia, not Polynesia, because there's not an A, it's an E. I thought that French Polynesia was in in you know in advance. Now that I think about it, they're really on the other side of the international date line. So that means that for maybe a couple of hundred of kilometers, they would be ahead of us. But it turns out they're behind us in time by like 11 hours. And it's really strange to think about that. Yeah. So I mean, filming that around noon is really me taking no chances with the upload. I'm gonna spend the whole afternoon uploading it, so that at the time where I'm uploading it, at the time the upload should be over, maybe Russia will be celebrating New Year. I mean, when I'm talking about Russia, I'm talking about Moscow. I'm talking about really the really western part of Russia. I'm not talking about Siberia or central Russia. The Ural Mountains or the islands in the Arctic Sea. I'm really talking about the places where everybody lives. St. Petersburg, Moscow, Vostok. No, not Vostok. Yeah, Vostok. Is it Vostok? Vostok on the Don. It's really strange to think about it, because Vostok means east in Russia. So it's really weird to think, yeah, it's in the western part of the country. And it's one of those cities where it's the hottest. So yeah. Yesterday I wrote in the description that I could only sleep for 4 hours. Today I've slept for 6 hours, and I think I could have slept even more, because people have come early in the morning to do some work, because, well, I mean, our house is all kinds of fucked up, and it's pretty much a measure of safety for the landlords, because now we could, in theory, my parents could buy the house, in theory. But it's so fucked up on so many fucking levels that they could, ask for a significant amount of money under the price at which the landlords would sell it. Landlords being a company run by the state. So yeah, we have huge windows in both the living room and the kitchen, which makes it more, not only complicated to keep a temperate climate, pretty much, a not that high temperature during summer, because lights comes in from everywhere. So if you want to have if you don't want to die from the heat during the summer, because we have very hot summers. I'm gonna be honest, it's not as if we were in the desert or anything, but it's really hot. So yeah, if you want to be cool, because we cannot install anything like an air condition, like an AC. We cannot install an AC unit, because we're not the owners of the house. We're just on lease, basically. Even though it's a long-term lease, like you could literally live your whole life there, because it's council housing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that if you were to do the oh man, I don't know how you even say it in French, but the thing where you look at the quality of the insulation, and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that the house itself would be, a. I'm gonna be kind here. I'm gonna give it a D minus or an E plus. But it's the most I can give it because it's really shit. I mean, the windows let cold air go in, not like in my apartment in Montpellier, but it's if you sit close to it or if you sleep on the couch, you could get a cold, and obviously you don't want to get a cold. So yeah, I slept for 6 hours. I still don't think that it's gonna help me for New Year's Eve for tonight. But at the same time, I'm literally alone in my house with my parents and my dogs for New Year's Eve, watching TV. There are lots of good TV programs on New Year's Eve. Yeah, no, who am I kidding? I mean, it's shitty TV, but it's entertaining. So yeah, it's really weird because it's like the fourth or the third in a row, and I don't really mind. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really mind being at my parents' house for the New Year. I mean, when I was younger, the first New Year's Eve I spent outside of not at my parents' home. I had to convince them 2 months early during the holidays for Halloween. So yeah, I had to convince them, and I had to lie to them. That's something that's only people in prepa know. It's that I lied. I said that I would go to Pau. Well, I really went to Orléans to see an internet friend. Then the following year, since I was an adult, I said, yeah, I would want to go to Orléans to see the. She's a friend of mine. She was in high school at the same time as me, but she had skipped classes and then she moved. And then when I came back, I was like, no, she's actually an internet friend. I don't know her from real life. It was pretty weird to say that, but at the same time, it feels a little bit liberating. So yeah, but before that, it was always New Year's Eve with the family, and it was okay because there was the whole family. Last year, since last year, the last 3 New Year's Eves, I spent it alone, and as soon as midnight struck, and we were in 26 in the next year. We was this whole Happy New Year, it's cool, and then everyone went to fucked off to sleep, and I spent the night on the computer because that's everything that I do. I have such a sad life, People often tell me, there was this whole conversation I had with one of my sisters, and she was a little bit pissed that my other sister had moved and wasn't giving, wasn't sending messages or wasn't calling home. And I'm like, yeah, but I moved out. I mean, it's been like 5 years since I've really not spent any time at home, besides weekends and holidays. And even then, at one time, you barely even saw me. And that doesn't seem to bother you. And she said, yeah, but you're not really a family person. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of hurtful, but that's also true. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with spending, not with friends, because I don't have friends. I'm kidding, I have friends. Just that they live, way far away. So I couldn't be bothered to make all those kilometers to go and see them and have a gay old time, as they say. But yeah, I mean, with the family, it's okay. But I mean, it would be more okay if there was the whole family, just not me and my parents, woohoo, eating chicken on the couch while watching. I would not say nobodies, but they're not really known. There were comedians, doing challenges and whatnot, and everybody laughs and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. It feels lackluster, and it's really one of the main reasons why every time around October or November I go out to my friends and I'm telling them, yeah, what do you do for New Year's? You don't know, huh? Well, shit. Because I know that if I plan it too late, like if I ask them in early December, I will be like, I don't know, I might have stuff to do. I cannot organize the stuff I have to do around Christmas, around New Year. So yeah, I mean, at least it's less shitty spending with just my parents than I think it was New Year's Eve in 2008. December the 31st, 2008, and I spent with a huge band-aid around my hand because the one day earlier I was out on a bicycle, and I ate shit. And I mean, on one hand, it's kind of shitty that I opened my hand pretty badly. Like a normal band-aid wouldn't have done the trick. They had to put a special thing, on the wound. Also, I fucked up my wrist. That was gruesome. It wasn't really gruesome. There was a lot of blood, but it came from the palm of my hand. But yeah, I fucked up my hand really badly. But on the other hand, I was really close to eating the curb with my head. Like when I fell down, I was like, I'm fucking dead. I'm seeing death coming at me, and I'm actually going to hit the curb with my head, and I didn't. It's my hand that hit the curb, and it was I sprained my wrist. The following year, or maybe the previous year, I spent most of the evening playing PlayStation 1 in the dark. Playing Ridge Racer Revolution. I think it was the name of the game. The early installations of Winning 11. At that time it was International Superstar Soccer Pro. Winning 11 is PES. But yeah, an early installment of PES before it was even called PES. And yeah, I mean, it entertains. It keeps the brain occupied. It keeps the brain busy. Oh, it's over. Yeah, I was buying time because I'm gonna do some work on what's it called? Trains in Japan, because I have lots of projects for after I get back to the uni. So yeah, I should not lose a lot of time. Anyway, thanks for watching. I mean, I really want to do it. See you next year. Goodbye. Oh, that's really shitty because, I mean, I said it to some pals, some classmates, on the last day of class. See you next year, because I knew that I wouldn't see them until January the 4th. And, it's fun. It's cheesy, but it's fun. Fuck you. Goodbye.